especially like that big moment in the song, where like the cymbals crash and like the violin is like going up higher, and it's all, of course, like you don't even have to ask. Like, I'm humbled and honored that you would want to use this. All right, y'all. What's up? Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Today, we're going to talk about the story behind my new song, Sinister. And it's actually technically not a song because there's no lyrics. Technically, I guess it would be called a piece because there are no lyrics. And I definitely just filmed this whole video for like 30 minutes and realized that the footage was blurry. So I felt like I should shoot this again. So we're trying this a second time and gonna see how it works out. So maybe this will be even better. I don't know. This song that is instrumental, and I hope you guys have listened to it. If you haven't listened to it, stop watching right now and go listen to it. It's here on YouTube, but it's also on Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon and Google, all the places, or you can just Google Jonathan Joel Sinister, and I'm sure it'll come up for somewhere that you can watch or listen to. So stop what you're doing if you haven't listened and go listen to it right meow. And then just pause this video, and then when you're done listening, come back, and then you'll understand a lot more of what I'm talking about. So all right, so this is about Sinister, and y'all, I'm so excited about this song, and I can't believe that it's out. Like, I can't believe you guys can actually go and listen to it and download it, stream it, purchase it on iTunes, whatever, or watch the visualizer here on YouTube. This song really kind of like is almost like a battle theme, like from a movie. And I really like think it would be a great theme song for like a battle theme in like Gladiator or something, especially like that big moment in the song, where like the cymbals crash and like the violin is like going up higher, and it's all like super aggressive and passionate. And I really like, in writing this song, I really wanted something that I could just like pour all that like frustration and passion into life, from life into music, and just like get something out there in like instrumental kind of like battle movie soundtrack type vibe kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I wanted, and I'm super pumped with how it turned out, and love it, and love that you guys can hear it and are hopefully enjoying it. I know it's not much, but I will say that the song, I haven't really released original music in a few years. But this has gotten the most streams out of like anything I think I've ever put out. And so I'm super happy about that and excited that people are loving it, because honestly, it's like such a risk putting out anything, but like instrumental music, like that can be really great or like really terrible. So the fact that anybody's listening to it, I'm like, this is a win. So I'm glad that y'all enjoy it, and hopefully enjoy it as much as I enjoyed writing it. I kind of just started like working on the song. I started writing the song all the way back in 2019. I was living out in Los Angeles, which I think I should just do a whole like YouTube video on that at some point, because there's so much to share. And I know I did like a brief vlog, like life in LA, and but I think that there's a lot more that I could share about that experience that you guys maybe would like. If you think that sounds exciting, then please let me know down below. Leave a comment, say you want to hear more about time living in Los Angeles. And there's a lot that I could share about that. So maybe one day that'll happen. So there's this artist. Some of you guys may know him. His name is Andrew Bird. And I followed him for some time. Some of my cool friends back growing up in Memphis used to listen to him. But I've always been drawn to like classical crossover music, so music that kind of like incorporates classical elements or like instruments, but is like more contemporary. And he's one of those artists that I really love the way that he he's also a singer-songwriter, but mainly first a violinist, and I think he plays guitar. So he has this album called Echolocations River from 2017 that I was like really enjoying at the time and just kind of like vibing out to. And the song in particular on that album, that record called Gypsy Moth, maybe we can play a little clip of that or something, or go listen to it also. It's really, really great. So I was listening to that, and I really love like the progression in there, and I was like, I feel like I was kind of like hearing this melody on top of it, this like instrumental melody, and inspired by what he was writing. There's like this little excerpt in there that really inspired me. And so I started like working with the loop pedal and experimenting a little bit, and was kind of doing some chops, like string players, y'all might know what I'm talking about, doing some like chop rhythms on your bow, and kind of making a bass line and looping that together. Basically kind of like creating this bed of sound. And once I got a progression, I started improvising with this melody idea that I had, and was really kind of digging it, and kept working with it. And then I was also thinking about this other piece, this classical piece that I played for, I think, my senior recital in college or whatever. It is called Symphony Español. It's pretty like standard violin rep if you're a violinist, by the composer Eduardo Lalo, who was alive in the like 1800s, like maybe mid to late 1800s. But this piece came out, I think, in like 1870, and it has a Spanish motif, which is really cool, and he kind of brought into vogue during that time period I was reading about. Beautiful piece. You should also go listen to that, so we can make a whole Sinister inspiration playlist, I guess. But I also love that this whole thing like kind of came full circle in a way, because like after Sinister came out, I was looking at my Spotify for artists, and like the top countries that listened to the song was Mexico and Argentina, and so obviously very like Spanish or like Latin influence. I find it just very ironic that like Lalo used that whole like Spanish theme in his piece, and then my piece kind of contained like inspirations or excerpts from that piece also. And so I feel like this whole thing like really came full circle. Most of those people they're listening to probably don't even know that, the history behind that, but that was just like really cool, like, and personal to me. So yeah, there's like Andrew Bird and Lalo and all these like inspirations that came with creating Sinister. I was like not sure about the name, and I started like thinking about different ideas, but I just like always came back to this title. I'm like, I just feel like it encapsulates this like vibe and this like battle, like warrior type mood that I was going for. So I talked to some friends about it, and I was like, I feel like I can still use this and be cool with this. So I ended up doing it, and I'm glad I did. And then my friend Kurt ended up coming into town to visit, and Kurt's one of my BFFs, and love him so much. If you're watching this, Kurt, love you. Thank you for all your hard work on the album artwork, and you killed it. And just for being an overall swell guy, swell pal, and BFF, best bud. Love you. 5 ever. And amazing artist, visual artist, dancer, choreographer. So he was in town visiting. I was sharing with him some music that I was working on, and shared him like an earlier version of Sinister and kind of like what I was working through. I had not finished recording it and getting it to where I wanted it to be. And he instantly was like, can I use this for my ballet competitions that I have coming up? And I was like, of course, like you don't even have to ask. Like I'm humbled and honored that you would want to use this. And I was just like thrilled. I just like jumped in. I'm like, yes, of course. I was so excited. Like you guys have no idea. And that's just like such a dream of mine, to like write something or compose something that either is like being used for like a movie or like a soundtrack or like dancing to. Like a lot of times when I write stuff like songs and things, like I always think about the visuals and like choreography and like different like even like outfits or whatever, like colors and just like different things, artwork and music videos and stuff like that. But I also had to finish the song and like finish getting it mixed and mastered and everything. And so I instantly knew that I had to go to my friend Antonio Vidarte, and he's an incredible composer, orchestrator, producer, DJ, songwriter out in Los Angeles, and I just knew he would be perfect for this. And I've been wanting to like collaborate and work with him for some years, and we had been friends and hung out a couple times back when I lived out there. Anyway, so I sent it to him, and he was, I think, eager to, to get on it and be a part, and which I'm so thankful, because like literally like totally transformed the song and just like was so perfect. Like the moment that I heard the first draft come from him, I just like instantly had chills. I'm like, this is literally like blowing my mind right now. This is like the fact that this is my song and like it's sounding like this is wild. And he did such a good job, like so killed it. It's amazing. And like just all the French horns and the strings and the percussion and the cymbals and just like everything, it was so good. And so I was like, bro, we have like literally like 3 weeks to finish this song. So we went back and forth, a couple edits and tweaking things, and we sent it out to our friend and also in LA, Eric Sampson, who did a great job mixing and mastering. So thank you, Eric, for that. And then so we sent it to Kurt, and all right, it's done. You know, you can, you know, use it. And so I would get a few little updates from Kurt here and there. Shortly after he sent me these videos, I'll show them here for y'all. These videos of him and his student Madison White, they were in rehearsals, learning choreography that Kurt had come up with and for competitions. And again, just like from the moment that I heard like the opening sounds from the song and saw their arms and just like the dancing, I instantly had chills also, and was just like so excited about that. And just so crazy, and they did such a good job. And again, so humbled and honored that they used that. And yeah, love watching both of them dance. So cool. And so fast forward to beginning of 2024, they had the finals for that competition in New York City. I think they had some other competitions in like Las Vegas and I think some in Canada, as well as the other places in the US. And so this was the finals for the Youth American Grand Prix, which she danced to Sinister, and her solo was called Angeli Divini, which was Kurt's inspiration, Kurt's title. He was inspired by the artist Bernini and his angel sculptures in ancient Italy. And he had gone to Italy, like, I think the summer before, was really inspired and was like creating things based on that. I think it works so well with like the kind of battle theme of Sinister and, you know, the kind of like good versus evil and like the angels. You could imagine like angels and demons fighting or whatever. So yeah, the finals for the Youth American Grand Prix, she not only won first prize for her solo, but she also won a $1,000 scholarship to Paris to study ballet and an invitation to compete in the World Cup for dance, which is so crazy. And like that was to my song, like, oh, what the heck, so wild. Madison, you're amazing. You did so good. I'm so proud of you also. It's crazy that the song has like had a whole life of its own before it even got to y'all's ears. And so I think that's really cool, really special. And not only that, but I was sharing the first time I recorded this. I wasn't sure if I was going to share it or not, but this is super special to me because, long story short, when I came back to New York, I was like living with my parents during COVID, and my dad was kind of like battling with some health stuff, and he heard me working on Sinister, and I was like finishing writing it during that time period, partially, and It was like one of the last things that my dad ever heard me play or write or compose. And he said like it was his favorite thing that he had ever heard me play or write or whatever, which meant a lot. But also, if you knew my dad, we would kind of pick on him because he would say things like, "This is the best," blah blah blah. Like, you know, if he had really good mac and cheese that you made, he would be like, "This is the best mac and cheese I've ever had." And so, you know, we kind of would always give him a hard time about like saying stuff like that. So there was a part of me that was kind of thinking that, but I know that he meant it, and it just meant a lot that he was able to hear that. And one of the most favorite things that I've ever written meant so much that he could hear me play and work on that. And you know, he ended up passing away in 2020, and so like not to get all emotional and grieving or whatever, but yeah, it just like meant a lot that he was able to like be a part of this, and that it's had such a life of its own is really special to me personally. And I will always remember that. And, you know, that's what I really like aspire to do with my music, is to touch people's hearts and touch their lives and ultimately point them to God. And I think that's what I'm here to do, like with the gifts that God's given me. Like, I believe I'm supposed to just like give them back to him, and like I think that I can do that through the art that I create and making it the best that it can be and bringing glory to him. And so that's why, like, at the end of the Sinister visualizer, I put a couple scriptures there that have been really foundational to me. Maybe I can share more about that one day, I don't know. But yeah, there's just like a lot of meaning behind this song and just the stories behind it. And so I hope that you find that inspiring in some way. And we're not done. We still have some more stories to go with Sinister, one more at least. And yeah, I'm glad that I could share that with you guys. Yeah, thanks for letting me share that. Yeah, I was just really inspired again I was inspired by Kurt's choreography and Madison's solo and the whole like Bernini Angels kind of theme. And so I thought about asking Kurt to collaborate again on this project, and ended up asking him to design and draw the artwork for Sinister, which he so kindly obliged. So thank you, Kurt, again. You're amazing. So we went back and forth. We were shooting ideas and kind of concepts and things. And I knew I did not want my face on the cover. I'm like, this would be so like, I don't know. I just feel like it would be silly. And again, like in the movie soundtrack kind of theme, I'm like, I feel like this needs to have like a battle kind of like vibe or whatever. And I knew I wanted it to be black and white and just kind of like a drawing and kind of simple. So we were kind of going back and forth through text and like, you know, kind of sharing different images, and he was sharing drafts with me on what he was working on. And so we would give each other feedback and things. And so we finally came across this one, and I was like, yes, I feel like this is it. And really captures this the like battle theme of the song of Sinister. And so I'm really glad that it worked out, and I'm super excited about this direction that I'm going, and hope that you guys are on board with it and also enjoy it. And stay tuned, because there's a lot more pop violin, if you will, coming soon. And so I have lots of goals and ideas for that. So yeah, if you enjoy this video, if you liked any of the stories that I shared in this video, or enjoyed Sinister, make sure you give this a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to hear more pop violin, then come check me out online and stream my music. And any share or favorite or stream or add to playlist or anything helps me out. And subscribing to YouTube helps out tremendously. And trying to get to the point where I can do this full time and really give it my all, and give more art to you guys. And that's what I want to do. So thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing and for commenting and just being you. And hopefully we can continue to inspire one another, and yeah, just live this life. And there's lots of life to be lived. Can I get an amen? So anyway, thanks again so much for watching, y'all. I hope you enjoy Sinister, and I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. And I will see you soon. So that is it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.